Picking up from the last video about around this Mr. Fix-It shop, where we go along the US Business 6 East Highway, and we'll be going into the more commercial part where the stores and what have you. The shock to me in all this has been just how egregious all this is, by the standards of which that law enforcement deems it somewhat of a joke, even though with the roughly 8,900 residents of Carbondale, overwhelmingly there's over 7,900 from youth to elders that would definitely stipulate that it's quite problemsome and disturbs the quality of life. From motorcycles, there's modification laws on PA code for that, for the modified cars, for the modified trucks. At least we forget they're for performance enhancing power of the vehicles. So it's not just a show of noise intentionally, it's explicitly a show of defiance by speeding, by rates of which like 55, 60, and I've seen even higher, but then again, until I can show you. But the ridiculousness of it is as I've definitely witnessed, and I don't have that recordings, where the police have, say, an elder pulled over, someone between 65 or older. You can see by the hair color, the hairstyle, the person's features. They're pulled over for normal infractions, which is the right of law enforcement to do judicially. Though, as they're pulled over, flying by, speeding with their modified exhaust, ripping it, just like, and there's nothing done. There's nothing done. This is obviously troublesome. Where we want to believe that societally in America that there's civility to some degree, regardless, personalities and people won't always agree. That's been that way since the beginning of time. Though there can be logic and reasoning, but certainly with the mayor, the city council, and law enforcement acting on behalf of the modified vehicles, it brings the question, if there was not finances or budgeting to create white lines for safety crosswalks for pedestrians, and they have no problem ticketing, assuming they'll doing their job, rectifying offenses to vehicles that are from normal vehicles, non-modifications, or vehicles of less quality, that the probability is that they're of poor means, and it's difficult for those payments to, whether it be safety or registration, or it's still against the law, granted, but to know implicitly, as the mayor, city council, and law enforcement do, that the modified vehicles, motorcycles, cars, trucks, pay plausibly thousands to modify their vehicles, which would show an extra income capability to, hey, pop up, to, first of all, demodify their vehicles, come down to the regular place where normal citizens can live their life without noise pollution, disturbance of quality of life, and the laws be followed for these vehicles. But the question of which is, if it's not enforced, as I know through my videos, as you'll see, as I'll show the city council Monday, if disregard is shown towards enforcing laws for modified vehicles that pay with probability thousands to alter them. Why would they have protections? Who's protecting them? And at what cost? In what garages, auto mechanics, that are licensed, insured, bonded, family business owners, it's their whole means, a way of life, that would not take risks to perform illegal procedures to modify vehicles to create more power and definitely decibel ranges that exceed law. And we're not talking about, again, poor people, bad exhaust, commerce, tractor trailers like one that just went by, emergency vehicles, yada yada. That's just the way of life, anywhere at any time, and that's just, if someone doesn't like it, they just have to go somewhere quieter if they wanted to. But here in Carbondale, as I put forth this effort, and I do believe, it's certain, the silent majority somewhere along the line forgot their rights of the people, by the people, for the people, we the people, to voice and request that laws be followed so that they can live a decent way of life. And furthermore, to bring forth about Mayor Taylor, City Council, and law enforcement is what incentive to not put crosswalks in anywhere in the city would it do for them, except number one overall always will be safety, pedestrian safety. But with pedestrian safety, with crosswalks in the designated places, established federal law, by state law, by codes, that would just impede modified motorcycles, cars, and trucks from speeding if there were crosswalks and they were enforced. So the question is, what was the incentive? Who did it go to? What do they achieve? And who's paying it? And how much? And so these are all so important due to the fact that the only way you could get someone to be, or a little city in Pennsylvania, to complacently, gotta cross here so I don't get lost, thank you, to be so complicitly non-enforceable. I'll jump back over there so I can establish, or right at the school. But we're coming up on more of a district of shopping, residential, and someone was hit here. Look it up in the news or records. Someone was hit here. There was no mention, as best I can recall, of what happened, whether it was, God forbid, fatal or person maimed. There was a shoe, the news filmed in the street. But as we can see, thus far, there has been not a singular, not one crosswalk. And as we come up here after the Taco Bell, here's over to McDonald's, here's one shopping district. As we come over here, right after Taco Bell, right there, is the school district. This is US Business 6, and there you just seen 6 quads with absolutely no troubles, no worries, nothing, just going up. No. Okay, here's a medical facility, Commonwealth Health. So We would imagine for the safety of medically that there would be an access way, an access point, pedestrian crosswalk for patients physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever disabilities. Unfortunately, we would think there would be an access safety point of a crosswalk, but there is not. And then I'm gonna cross back over quickly so that I can catch the clear footage of. So we have, as I said, this is a medical facility. Scanning back over. Scanning back. Zero crosswalk. There's their schooling district. And carefully go over it. Not a singular. Sorry, I guess that's the word right now. Not a single crosswalk. And when asked of some residents, they said there always was, there were crosswalks when they were growing up and their kids. And so my question, there's the sign for the junior, senior high school. My question would be, financial. The question would be, what plausible, what would get a city mayor with a 6-member city council and the Carbondale Police Department, which are all in the same building at City Hall, which I filmed yesterday? What would be the incentive to disregard safety of its residents, of its constituents, of its people? Hopefully we'd like to believe that any people, all people from anywhere, but let's just say they're consciously minded about their own constituents. But that's definitely not the truth. And certainly the fact is that there is more disregard for public safety. And safety, again, is paramount to money, power. It supersedes all. It's the right, there's another school sign. It's the right of people to live their lives free from threats, harm, or little actions and that would involve vehicles texting as they do here. And as I open up the footage, you see a sign that says no cell phone usage. And when I seen it long ago, I literally stopped using it and advised friends and family that they have a sign up. It's no longer not cell phone calls. Obviously never texting. But even with the texting, you will see that here. Some of the questions would often be, how did it fall? When did it fall? When did just disregard for people in a city, for the leaders begin? And well, as a 92-year-old gal told me when I was getting my petition started at the 7-story high-rise where the elderly and disabled primarily live, is this is the way Carbondale is, this is the way Carbondale was, this is the way Carbondale will be. They ain't gonna do nothing but make a make a prick out of you. I ain't signing it because nothing's gonna be done. If something could be done, I would have signed it. So what we're seeking, and assuredly, silent majority forgot their voice. Mayor Taylor has been in office since pretty certain 2004. He was 24 years old, and ironically, at the last county commissioner's election, where we went to go vote, unexpected and unknown to myself, and as I found out everyone, was the Carbondale mayoral election. And there was absolutely no news, no knowledge, nothing known to anyone that the Carbondale mayor position, was open for candidates to run against him, whether from the same party, opposite party, totally different party. Well, that was a poor explanation anyway, to move on. So going in to vote, when I seen that, I was definitely disturbed by it, by the basis of which that even though we're in the same party, that there would be no formal knowledge to anyone anywhere around except to themselves, that the position of mayor, pretty much so what, the president of the city, right, is open, or especially depending upon what the strengths of it is. So with the class 3 home rules standard not to supersede state or federal laws, they're allowed some leeway in things, but that leeway should not be allowed to be illegal, where complacency sets in, and it takes for granted that you presume, Mayor Taylor, that all the people are so pleased and grateful and appreciative of all services that are being a public servant of the city of Carbondale. And with this class 3 status, it allows for the strengths of powers for their local government, for the mayor to have powers superseding the city council, all 6 members, and law enforcement to hire, fire, do as he wishes. So this is a conundrum. So it almost comes down to absolute power corrupts absolutely. Being as which how the attitude, well, we don't really want to go into that yet. The attitude. Here we got the shopping plaza. Just a moment. Shopping plaza. And back here we don't see any crosswalk. Just waiting a second. Here we go. The shopping plaza. Into the shopping plaza. Into the shopping plaza. I know, stuck here for a moment. Okay. So to look back, it's August 17th. So then, I wish I formulated my questions better. Then we begin to question even the contracting for the lines that are here. There I get the finger because there's the smaller clique of people that love the modified exhaust and they're allowed to do as they wish. And heat change vehicles, normally it's a little black Ranger that so explicitly does it. But here we got nothing for the pedestrians, not even the crosswalk from, I forgot the names of these, the ramps. There, over to there, over there. So where is the budgeting going? What are they doing? Yes, there are the street lights in here as well, but where is the budgeting going for the safety of the people, which requires minimally white lines? There's nothing. Look back, nothing. Look forward, nothing. Here we come up US Business 6 East, and we'll be seeing signs soon. Here we have a railroad crossing. Now, I'd have to look up the legal laws for as far as they should have, what I'm thinking, drawbridge arms or remote arms that go down when the bells chime, but there isn't. There is not. Nice to see the Victory Baptist Church bus stop, so. As I said, this is a long filming. Sorry about the poor narration, but doing the best I can to try to get some, whether we stay, leave, just something better for here. They deserve it. Everybody deserves it. A quality and a way of life that's fair and safe. Well, let's start with safe. Let's just start with safe. So, going down, I'm going to go up to the very beginning of Main Street. This is kind of, this gets where, I will say that there was a water break here, right here obviously, and actually my wife called for them to take a look at it, and it appears to be fixed with rocks. They actually mowed over here. That was very long, not too long ago. It appears there'll be some more work. Okay, so we begin from here. Still taking a look back at the roads. No crosswalks. Okay, commencing here, we go on to the start of sidewalks. Okay, so over here we have start of sidewalks. Okay. All right. Now, because it's not too far from where we need to go to shop, we avoid here due to possible fleas, ticks, sharp brush, and East Business 6. Pause here momentarily to because I want to swing it back around, because every once in a while, just in case, God knows my memory's not so well, but to show again that there has not been any point of where there's a crosswalk. Again, so moving forward. But ironically, I will say someone has mowed out here, probably the homeowners here, but since I don't know that, I don't know. So a question of services for the city or maintenance for roads and painting is, where is the budgeting? The problem that I had seen is right across the river. There's an auto mechanic garage. It's 4 bays. It's listed as 14 Pike, while the warehouse, old factory building attached to it's listed addresses of, and it's one singular big warehouse or a factory listed as 17, 15, 13 in one address hookup, and then 17, 15 for another. Good patriotism, at least in this section. And again, just to going over here. Oh, street lamps. Of course, left. Well, I'm not gonna backtrack. There's 1, 2. At least right here in just this segment. 1, 2, 3. And trust me, my own safety has been at risk from recording and exposing what's going on here. 4 street lights out. So at night, the difficulty of even doing anything, they use this as a drag strip. That starts Main Street there, 4-way lights intersection, and I'll film up to there, stop and see about where I'll pick up later. But this is right here, and absolutely no crosswalks anywhere. Here's beginning of a bridge. That 4-bay garage I discussed that does, my belief is the modified exhaust, is over there, right there. Operates at all times of the night and hours. And the question of which is that what business could perform these modifications of the exhaust systems, and who's providing the tinted license plate covers that so far is known illegal in all 50 states. Any placement over your license. License plate. So here we come up, here's East Biz 6 again. Here we go into here, and the limited, poorest quality, shoddy job you could possibly get with the trying to let the traffic go. God knows people hate that some hate that I do this, but overwhelmingly, if it brought about changes that are somewhat positive, it'd be good. This is where I said I'll bring up to the very start of Main Street. 8th Ave, Main Street, and this is what they would assume. We went by the schools, we went by the bigger shopping residential district, and we can see here. Actually, you know what? I'll take it right up to City Hall, as annoying as this is, and in the hopes that it'll do something good. There we go. This is where this 7-story high-rise over here is where the elderly and disabled live, and for the longest time, what has been accomplished thus far as going before the city council, mayor didn't show up. They have a code enforcement officer. I've twice sought contact with, I believe last name Bizak. Don't quote me on it, I gotta do more research. So these folks were terrorized by the, where they used to set up right over at that, see that's the Chester's and convenient parking lot. Sometimes that's where they attempted to jump me. Those recordings are here too. And this is PNC, which is an international banking institute. That's their preferred setup, but they still go there in the wee hours of the morning and sometimes get kicked out if begrudgingly, the cops, depending who's on shift, who feels like enforcing it and telling them not to rip it up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Now we understand kids are the ones that are kids doing it, but overwhelmingly it's a larger percentage of population than just that. Yes, definitely. This appears to be the generation where, instead of like all generations before, where the parents were well adjusted and we just thought they were kind of different, and one day we'll have to be old and like that. I don't know, but different. But now there's adults acting like kids and pampering their kids and allowing kids to trying to be like them, and empowering poor choices with modified vehicles. Here's the PNC. Here's the crosswalk. Here we go across. Over here on this corner, 7th Ave, I had a knife pulled on me, butterfly knife, and his buddy, unbeknownst to me until I started filming, was right behind the telephone pole there. So you've got the lights here, his buddy was hiding there, and the situation had pretty much so settled itself, I was going across the street, but as I was recording, as I am now, and seen his friend there, and said, Frank, there's his buddy Frank, that was enough to agitate him to come forth, and with his left hand, when I slow down the footage, I could see he's a southpaw lefty, and with proficiency, pulled out a butterfly knife, and I jet it just like I did when they tried to jump me over there. Running across the street here, making it here. 911's dialed. Looking over my shoulder, I see them rearing up the block. Frank goes straight up to the next street, Church Street, and hoodlum that pulled out the butterfly knife went into the alleyway. Let me bring this through here, because as I called, as I called 911 about it, let me see. So his buddy Frank ran up to the corner of that Church Street, rounded it as the thug that pulled the knife. So came down here, and after the whole incident, the police did respond. But as I told him, he had run in here, possibly stashing, I believe, the knife or whatever contraband, so that it wouldn't be found on him, possibly having a huge record. Though the whole situation, after Carbondale police arrived with their chief, whose name at the moment I don't recall, the first thing he asked is, why do you record? Why do you record people? Verbatim. And I said, I respect those that carry out justice and enforce it for the safety of the people. And so nothing was made of that incident. I checked the cameras for Dunkin' Donuts. I checked the Kratom shop, nice person, the owner. H&R Block wasn't open. I checked Dominic's footage. They had blurred footage of the incident. The Eye in the Sky, which just recently my wife and I went to get Chinese food, which is a Chinese restaurant, the foliage, they said it's inoperable, the camera. And then asking Ms. Patel, who's a wonderful, sweet lady, the manager who spoke to me at PNC Bank about any camera footage possible, she said that they don't record here on the corner. The last hope, and I must say, I should call, is the housing of Lackawanna, and see if they have any cameras installed. Now, they do have lights or but still shot video recordings on top. But I don't know if that would, I would hope anything that could have been. So not only there, asked here, there's only recording in the store. Jennifer was awfully helpful with the Pioneer Insurance. She showed me the best that her cameras could show, and awfully suspiciously weird, an electronics vehicle pulled up just as this incident was taking place. And so to move, asked their video recording wouldn't extend far enough from the beauty salon. It says Diamonds up there, but it's actually a beauty salon located next to insurance. I asked the anthracite